What's up, everybody? Welcome to the ChimiComicsCast, episode 12. Congratulations for listening to a whole year of Comics Cast. Today is a special episode of the ChimiComicsCast because we're going to be focusing on one thing, and one thing only. That will be Star Wars. But before we do that, we got to get in to what we always get in at the first of every episode, which is... Drumroll, please. What have we been reading this month? Let's start out with Mr. Bookpile over here.
Okay.
Righty.
Fair enough.
Probably the only one of us has read anything.
Nah,
I'm Wyatt, by the way, for audio
shoot.
listeners.
I didn't even do intros for people, did I?
Yeah,
This is
you
Mr.
did.
Chimmy Comics himself, Riley Davis.
Speak.
Hello.
I'm your host, Papa Curb,
I read
Tanner
comics.
Kirby. How you doing? He is the man who's never wrong, Wyatt Smith.
And he doesn't read comics.
Hello. I do, but I mean, I didn't read any this time. So, did you read anything, Tanner?
Yeah, I did.
You did? Okay,
Yep,
I'm the only
so
one who
you
didn't
look
read.
bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Usually it's Tanner.
Good job, Tanner.
Hey, I usually
Way to make
watch
him look bad.
something. I usually watch something comic
Me too,
related.
Yeah. I watched The Witcher last night.
Oh,
First
hell, don't tell
episode.
me about it. I gotta watch it.
I watched it too.
It
Fuck you
was
guys.
okay and it was cool, but like I just felt confused. I couldn't tell you what really happened in the episode.
Stuff happened, and that was all right.
I mean,
Well,
the fighting scenes were
It's
awesome.
different from the
That's what I heard.
books. Like, the first time you meet Geralt in the books doesn't happen until episode 3, I've heard.
In the book.
Yeah.
Oh well, I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
know.
haven't read the book.
I haven't
Interesting. Let's get into what we've read.
All right. Thank you, Tanner.
You're welcome.
So I picked up this book. It's called Family Tree by Jeff Lemire.
It's about a tree.
I've read, this is issue 2. I've read the first 2, and it's been pretty good. It's about, like, a little girl. She's, like, what, 6 or 7, something like that.
Does she turn into a tree?
She is turning into a tree. Like, she's getting branches growing out of her arms.
Does
and
she say,
stuff.
I am Groot?
No.
That's
Oh.
like
The book-
Herbert from Fallout.
The book takes place in 1997.
So when we were born.
About, yeah.
3 years before I was born.
Yes.
Ooh, you're 2000, baby?
Yeah.
Yes.
Whoa.
So he can always tell how old he is.
Exactly.
I've never met one of those before.
We've been friends for
Well,
over a year
yes, you
now,
have.
Tanner.
So
Old.
the little girl
Two
is
of
in the
my
process
birthdays
of
are
turning
faster
into
than
a
you.
tree, and like her mom is, it just happened. So the mom is like freaking out and
As
doesn't know
you
what
do.
to do, and there's people coming after them like to capture her, for whatever reason. And the little girl has an older brother. He's like, I guess like 15, 16 maybe, something like that. So they're trying to like escape these people, and at the end of issue 1, the little girl's grandpa shows up. So he is the father of the woman's husband, late husband. He's no longer alive. But like he saves them, like kills the guys that are coming at. He kills one of the guys, and the rest of them like kind of they run away. They get in the van, run away. But this old man is like really rough around the edges and like cusses a lot, and she doesn't like him because she thinks that he like hasn't been speaking to her husband for years and stuff like that. So, but
Maybe because he was a tree.
maybe.
Tanner just uncovered
What's
the plot.
revealed in this issue is that actually the husband left the whole family behind because he was turned into a tree. And he was on the run.
That's right.
You know, like he didn't want to put his family in danger because the people were chasing him.
Yeah.
So his dad was actually helping him
Okay.
run away and was trying to find somebody that could help him. So they were like, you know, on the road, staying at random motels and stuff like that. And you get a cool scene where he's fighting them off and like blast people with a shotgun and stuff.
Fighting them off.
Yeah.
Fighting them off.
But at this point, like this was a year ago, this happened.
Oh, there's a year time skip?
Huh?
There's a year time skip?
Yeah. So this is a flashback to a year ago when the little girl's dad was turning into a tree. He was like full Groot in this.
Did he have Groot powers?
He could barely talk. Like he was going dird, dird, like that.
He needed water.
Yeah. He was actually just drinking bottles of whiskey.
Well,
Nice.
that's probably not. I don't think that works.
They make the joke. The grandpa goes, maybe you should be drinking some water. And he said, oh, sorry. Bad joke. But yeah, so you get that, and then he's taking the family, taking them down the road to try to get away, try to get some space between them and the chasers. And then at the very end of the issue, it's revealed that the son is living on in the guy's hand. Because the grandpa didn't have a hand before. And somehow it was cut off. I don't know how that happened, but he's like somehow still alive.
That's Does he just not wipe with that hand? I hope he doesn't do something else with
Well,
that
if you're
hand.
right-handed, do you wipe with your left hand?
I mean, sometimes, depending on where I have to wipe.
All right, then. All right. I don't know why I asked that. Well, before this,
Hey,
he was
question.
missing the hand anyway.
Question. This is
Tanner
gonna be a
has
weird question.
All right.
But
All right.
did y'all ever stand when you wiped?
No, I've heard of this argument that like half of the world stands when they wipe.
Did y'all ever
No.
do that? I did.
And
I did. I was a stander.
50% of
I
people
still
also
do.
wipe from
You
the
still do?
front.
Okay.
You still do?
Okay, he's a stander
Okay,
too.
I'm a sitter.
See, I've become a sitter because I felt weird at work standing.
Okay.
Did
I'm
you,
in the stalls.
Do you wipe from the front or from the back? Because that's
I feel
another
like
thing.
every guy wipes from the front. I feel like the wiping from the front's wiping from
No.
the front is not a girl thing. You get the fecal matter in the coochie. Not good.
What do you mean?
Like
What's the question?
You're sitting on the toilet.
They're saying what you
Would-
wipe like
would
this.
you either lean
No,
forward-
I don't wipe
you
like
I
that.
don't
That's
either.
weird.
I wipe
Right?
from the back.
I feel
Why
like
would
I'd
you do
stuff my
that?
dick in my asshole doing that.
No. What?
Continuing on, Philadelphia.
weird.
Philadelphia. Let's see here. Woo.
Okay, so Philadelphia is a book by Image again. I've never heard of the team. It's written by Rodney Barnes and drawn by Jason Sean Alexander, who I think I've heard of.
I've heard of him as well.
It's a really cool book. It's you can see like some eyes in the shadows here.
Yeah, I like the art.
The art is pretty cool. It's about like this.
It's like The Wire.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's about this detective from Washington D.C. He's going back home to his hometown of Philadelphia. His dad was a detective, and the dad gets killed. What?
I feel last I'm wearing green.
Oh no!
Damn it,
Maybe it's
Tanner.
dark enough. So he's going
Zip
back.
it up, dang it. Censor.
Can you get it zipped?
It's fucking stuck.
Oh my gosh.
The first half of this episode is just gonna be my floating head. It's gonna be like Power Rangers.
Rangers, you are the world needs you.
Can we
Okay,
please,
Zordon.
Let's do that before you start talking about Power
The blue
Rangers.
head.
Can I make an intro for the Power Rangers read and tell with
Yes.
just my floating head?
Yes.
That's me and Wyatt going Tyrannosaurus.
Okay, we're good now. I'll just
Dragon
look
sword.
like a.
I'd rather have the saber tooth to be honest.
I'll look like I'm
That's the girl.
fighting
I know.
crime.
Saber tooth's cool.
Okay.
All right, so he's going back to Philadelphia, his hometown, because his dad gets killed in action, and he's going to the funeral.
Was his dad a cop?
Yeah, he's a detective.
Okay.
Estranged, he doesn't like his father, but he finds his diary laying around, and he said his father would roll over in his grave if he knew I was reading this. So the dad had this woman. I don't know if they were having an affair. It's what it seemed like, because his dad's wife passed away like years ago, like when the guy was a kid. So he goes and talks to the woman, about what's going on. Apparently, there's been stuff going on in this place. I can't remember what they called it. It's something to do with Hale.
Hale
Hall. That's what it's called.
Close.
The Hale Hall used to be like a developmental housing place back in the 70s. They were trying to provide low-income housing for the city, and that fell through. It turned into a really crappy place, and so he goes there to investigate these murders that have been happening and gets killed by a group of vampires.
As you do.
Yeah, so apparently they're part of
Conspiracy.
some society, I think they said. Let's see what it was.
The Gorilla Broad Society?
It was a John Adams thing.
Like the Founding Father?
Yeah. So
Okay.
the son goes up to Massachusetts to visit the grave.
John
because
Quincy Adams?
It's John Adams.
So John Quincy Adams.
I suppose. Second president of the United States.
Okay, not John Quincy Adams.
All right then.
John Quincy Adams believed in mole people.
Oh, well, probably no then.
Well, that's why you were saying creatures and stuff. I was like, really? They made this into a comic? That's awesome.
The mole people.
The mole people. John Quincy Adams was right. Google John Quincy Adams mole people, audience. You'll thank me
I'm
for
going to Google it right now.
You'll thank me for it.
Jeez. Apparently someone had tried to rob the grave or something, but nothing was taken, I think. But apparently, that there's a society based on him.
Okay.
And that's what the whole vampire thing is coming from.
Interesting.
Somehow he's responsible for these vampires in Philadelphia.
Woo!
And I think, at the very end, he finds out how they're related. I don't know. I can't really remember that. But at the end of this issue, he starts digging in his father's grave because he realizes that that his dad, something happened to him, and that, if he was killed by vampires, then, he was probably turned.
Yeah.
So he digs up the grave,
And-
and the dad is laying there saying, "What took you so long, boy?" As a vampire. So that's how issue 1 ends.
Interesting. So would you recommend this, Ryan?
Very occult.
Definitely. I think it's very fun. It's got reviews by Chris Rock and Jordan Peele, which I thought was pretty cool. To put that
Jordan
on the back.
Peele from Key and Peele?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He reviews
Well,
comics?
he wrote Get Out,
Oh, you're right.
so
Interesting.
I definitely recommend this. It's been that was a fun issue. I'm looking forward to number 2. I also read Nick Spencer's Amazing Spider-Man Volume 5. So this collects issues 24 through 28.
When I first saw the cover, I didn't see Spider-Man. I just saw the girl in the bottom corner.
That's Mary Jane.
And that's MJ. I didn't think it was Mary Jane. I thought it was Daphne from Scooby-Doo. So I didn't see Spider-Man. I thought you read a Scooby-Doo
That does
comic.
have a comic
Yeah.
right now. So this takes place after the events of the Hunted, which is that Craven story.
Mm-hmm.
God, I can't see anything but Invincible when I see all these.
I know.
I mention that every single time, but come on.
There's a story with Mysterio.
I love it.
That's the
Still.
beginning. So what's been happening throughout the comic is there's this mystery villain. He looks like a mummy almost. He's got bandages all over his body, and I don't think Spider-Man has confronted him yet, but he has had a dream where MJ died. So that's been going on for like a dozen issues probably, just in the background. But apparently Mysterio is in I guess Ravencroft, like the Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, for Marvel.
And he's currently going through counseling or whatever with the psychiatrist. And there's this funny scene where Mysterio gets killed by that mystery villain. But you look back, a few pages later, it's revealed that wasn't Mysterio. And Mysterio was the mystery villain. The psychiatrist.
Oh.
And he put the psychiatrist in the Mysterio outfit. And
did a fake out.
Yeah. But,
which is his thing.
He hypnotized the guy to think he was Mysterio. But he was so far into his role that I think Mysterio also thought he was the psychiatrist. It's really twisted.
Does that reveal who the secret villain is?
His name is Kindred.
And he's new.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we don't know anything about him.
Oh, look, it's Mark Grayson.
Yeah. I think he does somehow have ties to Peter, though, so it could be someone that we already know. But I'm not really.
He's got a weird insect aesthetic.
A what?
Isn't that him, the secret villain, with those weird insect arms?
Oh, insect. Yeah, these are millipedes.
Millipede. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what that's about, but yeah.
It's creepy.
It is creepy. He's pretty scary looking.
Is that Gwen? Who is that?
No,
this woman.
We also get a story where Mary Jane goes to watch a play starring a girl that replaced her in Secret Hospital, that soap opera that she was in.
Mm-hmm.
She left the show and this girl replaced her. Well, the girl went on to win all kinds of awards for that show when Mary Jane quit. But they look exactly the same. They just have a different hair color. That's it. Yeah. So she's kind of bitter about that. But she does go to watch the girl show. And the girl is a real jerk, She's like, haven't seen you in forever. Where have you been hiding? And stuff like that. And you just, get a kind of jerky vibe from it. But the girl is attacked by this new Electro villain who's a woman.
Shocking.
And the woman doesn't like her either.
Okay.
But she does like MJ. She liked her role in Secret Hospital.
Okay.
As fun. You do as a woman.
Right. So she takes this girl for ransom and puts it on kind of like Instagram and Twitter and stuff. And
Marvelgram.
It's
the Grand Marvel.
And it's like, hey, if you guys can raise this much money for me, I'll let her go. But no one ever does because no one really likes her.
Oh, that is so sad. That poor bitchy girl.
But this all happened in the middle of a play that she was doing called Galactus, and she was Invisible Woman. That's why you see the blonde hair and the suit she's wearing.
Now I have to see Otley actually draw Invisible Woman to see if it looks exactly the same, because I guarantee it
probably will. But MJ is able to switch out. She puts on a blonde wig, and this is actually her. You see her green eyes right here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's her, and she goes on this whole monologue of how she got famous one time and she hated it, and it's really a good peek into what MJ's really feeling in her own life and career. So it's good to see that side to her, because you don't really see that a lot in the Spider-Man comic. And her story will continue in the comic called The Amazing Mary Jane, where she takes a deal with Mysterio to go to California and make some kind of film.
An adult film?
No. But
good one, Tanner.
Thanks.
Yeah, so you get to see how heroic she can be by taking this girl's place that she doesn't even like,
mm-hmm.
and kind of saving her life there. So I thought that was a cool part. But it's Spider-Man doesn't really have a role in that part. And then the back half of this book is just a kind of like a woman Sinister Six. where they all get together.
Gender bend.
Yeah. It was okay, and there were some funny jokes, but overall, I don't even feel like talking about it. It was kind of forgettable. So,
Seems about right.
yeah. I also read, just because I felt like it, JLA Earth 2 by Grant Morrison. Have you seen the movie of this?
Yes.
Okay.
They made a movie of that?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, did you see the trailer for the new Red Sun?
I don't think I've watched the
I
trailer.
haven't watched it.
When
I
does it
have.
come out?
I don't have
Like
DC
fairly
Universe
soon?
anymore, so I couldn't tell
It
you.
has Rush. It's Soviet Superman, pretty much. And there's also a Soviet Batman, and they fight.
Oh, we know all about
Yeah.
Red Sun.
I know you did. I don't. I thought it looked cool.
I've never actually read it. Have you read it? We should probably review that. That'd be fun.
For the motherland.
For motherland,
So,
Comrade Stalin says.
Tanner, you know a bit about this. You could probably
Duh.
help with
Yeah.
the overall concept, but basically
Mini vodka.
there is another opposite reality.
Where the Justice League is basically the Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
And
So-
the Legion
Led
of
by
Doom
an
is the
evil
Justice
Superman.
League.
Yes.
But also
So Joker's a good guy, Lex Luthor's a good guy.
and also in that world, good is bad and bad is good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So evil will always win in that reality.
Yeah.
So the Justice League tries to go over there and like save the day by helping. It's Thomas Wayne. He's Commissioner Wayne, I think. Trying to help him take back Gotham so that it's not like bought off and ruled by the criminal underworld. They do a pretty good job at first, and then as soon as they leave, it goes back to the way it was.
Because that's just the way people are.
That's just the way it is, yeah. In that world, Benedict Arnold is a hero, and instead of the George Washington dollar bill, it's the Benedict Arnold dollar bill.
That sounds
Even
like
though he betrayed it.
sounds like the timeline we live in.
Well, because I think the British won in that one.
Oh, so it's is there still United States, or are they still colonies?
I don't think it's called.
probably
the
won't
United
get into
States.
it.
It's called something else.
United Colonies of Great Britain?
I don't know.
UCGB?
I think Germany might have won the war.
So they're
Stuff like that.
they're part of the Greater German Reich from Man in the High Castle.
Oh, that's a great show.
Yeah.
I need to keep watching that. Taking a break from it. I don't know. Some pages the art is okay, but other pages you get Wonder Woman with a face like this, and I'm just like, ew. You know?
Looks like stuff I would draw.
Right? That's my whole point. And this face is awful.
Yeah.
All those faces are
This
really
is
good.
really bad.
They all look squished.
I just don't get it. I don't get how the guy gets work, honestly. It's Frank Quietly. But just my opinion. And it was cool to see like a good Lex Luthor trying to save his Earth. And you get so the not Sinister, the what are they called? The Crime Syndicate.
Yeah.
So it's made up of Ultraman, which is the Superman, Superwoman,
Owlman?
Owlman.
Yeah, I remember this is from Crisis on Infinite Earths. Like that was
Yeah.
original,
They were in it a bit. Power Ring and Johnny Quick. And the cool thing about Johnny Quick is he gets his powers from like drugs. He just injects it
Yeah.
in his arm.
and just
Dogs.
No, they don't have a counterpart.
done.
But at this point
Martian
in
Manhunter's too
DC,
good.
Aquaman has like a trident hand. He doesn't
Yeah.
have a left hand. And at one point in the story, he shoots it at somebody. The harpoon, he shoots it at somebody.
That's kind of stupid.
I like it.
That's just the way it was.
I like the hook hand.
Overall, I do think it's a pretty fun story. There's not like a whole lot to it, you know. It's not really deep or anything. And Morrison doesn't have a chance to like mess it up a lot, you know. So overall,
Thank God for that.
overall, a pretty fun, straightforward story for Grant Morrison, anyway.
Does not require a casebook.
No, it doesn't. And
But it does have 73 references to the Bible.
I also read
I read that.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Year 1. Wyatt and I will be doing an episode on this, but to kind of give you an overall feel of how it is, Wyatt, you can help me with this.
Okay. Yeah, Rita, the main villainess, she is pretty much Darth Sidious with pyramid boob plate. Like, she does the whole talking to the Green Ranger just like Sidious did to Anakin. He's just like, oh, yes, of course, you should. You should tell them. Like when Sidious was like, oh, yes, so go ahead and tell the Jedi Master about me being a Sith. I'll wait.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it pretty much quotes Sidious. Like, I think that's our main inspiration.
The overall story takes place, like within the show, takes place when Tommy has already fought the Rangers, and they beat him and overcome the mind control, and then he becomes the Green Ranger as part of their team. And like throughout the book, he's struggling with like still that mind control is still kind of there.
So he's seeing hallucinations of Rita.
And like Rita telling him to like bail on his team and
like I'm the only one that loves you.
Yeah, stuff like that.
There was this one weird part of the book where he like passes out in the Power Ranger base, and he has this like weird dream of him at home and his mom's there, but his mom's like, don't worry, I'm gonna take care of you. I'll still love you if you choose to leave the Power Rangers. He's like, what? And she, and it's Rita, and he goes, I love you. And I was just like, what the fuck?
Let me see if I can find that page.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you
I know
watch
nothing about Power Rangers.
Okay, well, if you know nothing, honestly, it's
You
still
know
good.
nothing, Jon Snow.
It's still a good story and worth reading. I think it does a good job of just like you don't have to know anything about it.
Yeah, I
to
mean,
read.
I barely know anything. Like,
Yeah.
I just watched it when I was a kid, and I barely remember it. And we played those games on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, some of these villains I only know from that game.
Yeah. Scorpina? What's the name?
Yeah, it was.
I think it was third issue.
It was the third issue when he passed out?
I think so.
Maybe it was. I don't know.
No, it's just after that, I think. It's after they were in the diner. Like, they go back and see the scans, and that's when he passes out.
I don't know. I think they do a good job of like giving the characters the right voices. Like if you've seen the show, you know these are the way.
You mean the way they
They
speak,
act, yeah.
not voices? Because when
Yeah.
we're reading,
But their voice,
their articulation.
voice is also valid.
I don't think so.
Oh boy. I don't know. I can't find it, but apparently Rita rips.
Tommy's mother's face
No.
off like a Mission Impossible mask, and he's like, I love you.
At the beginning, like just an example of his hallucinations. He's so like you know how the Rangers have their own Zords, and they all come together to make a Megazord.
His
Big
is just
giant robot
his
that
is
they
just a
fight stuff
full-on
with.
Megazord all the time, pretty much.
Yes. So Tommy has a hallucination, and they're fighting this villain at like pretty much San Francisco
Bay.
Bridge,
Yeah, in the bay.
and he like swings his tail around and destroys the bridge with people on it. The Rangers go and save the
Pink
people,
Ranger saves them.
but you know that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So they not Tommy, Jason, the Red Ranger. He's like, all right, you're out. You got to take a break and figure this out.
Well, no, he doesn't do that until later.
Because like we can't have you killing innocent people.
No, he doesn't do that until later.
No, it's after he kills the people on the kills the people on the bridge.
Yeah, but I mean, he's still supportive team leader. Like, we're gonna figure this out. Like, Blue Ranger is gonna figure out, but because he doesn't know that it's because of him. It's get blamed on the Zord freaking out.
Well, yeah, they have him check the Zord.
They don't
later.
kick him out until later on, like at the end when he goes back.
All right, what'd you read, Tanner?
Oh, me?
You.
Thanks. So I read The Rise of Kylo Ren #1, which was interesting. I liked it.
Really?
Yeah, I did. So
Was it Cullen Bunn that wrote that?
I have no idea.
I don't remember.
But it focuses on the first part. Kind of focuses on the Knights of Ren, and it shows Ren, who's the leader of the Knights of Ren. In case you didn't know that, and he's this like burned guy. It doesn't really die.
Are any of the knights force sensitive?
No.
What the heck were they doing?
Well, maybe. Not really sure yet. It doesn't dig that much into him. Really, it just kind of shows Ren, and then he kills the guy. That was really all it showed. And then it shows a couple of the other Knights of Ren. They're all in their little costumes and whatnot. And then it goes into Ben Solo, right after he's betrayed by Luke. Kind of goes into his thoughts. And these 3 Jedi are coming in, and they're flying in, and they kind of stop. And after after Kylo has knocked the building down on Luke, and we get to see that scene again. And they're like, are you getting any, are you feeling anybody? And they're like, just Ben. So then they land, and they confront Ben. And he's like, Luke tried to betray me, and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, you need to come with us. We can't let you go, or blah, blah, blah. You need to stay here, because he's like, I need to leave, or whatever. And he starts running towards the big temple, I assume. The Jedi temple, and a big lightning blasts it, and it all explodes. And, like, it's all on fire. And he's like, I didn't plan on this happening, blah, 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 blah. And he runs off and gets in his ship. And, well, he confronts those 2 people who are the 3 Jedi who land. And they're
what
trying
happened
to
to
get him
them?
to stop. Well, they're trying to get him to stop, right? So he's like, I'm not, if you won't come with me or blah, 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 then you need to get out of my way. And he, like, force pushes a bunch of shit into him. One of them gets hit and, like, falls. And then they, like, come around him and, like, have to stay with him. So then Kylo flies off and goes and meets with Snoke.
Mm-hmm.
And he's all, deformed, and he's wearing this. He's on like some vegetable planet. It's very weird. He's on
vegetable planet.
Well, no, it's not vegetable.
A farming planet.
It's like the scene
There's
in
giant
Arkham
carrots.
Asylum where there's just a bunch of plants and shit around him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. It's a botanical. And he's just walking around.
Yeah,
he's like, my boy, I'm glad you came back to see me. And then Kylo's like, your face, it's hurt from your battles with with Luke or something, or whatever. Never mentioned that earlier. I assume that's what they're gonna do in the next issue.
Mm-hmm.
But he says that, and Snoke's like, well, I'm glad you came back to me. And then that's kind of how it ends. But the next issue, the cover shows Luke and Kylo versus the Knights of Ren. So it's going to be interesting. Well, Luke and Ben versus the Knights of Ren. And Ben looks significantly younger, so be very interesting and see how this goes.
So is this like while he's still training with Luke? Or is it...
I assume the next one will be
Luke's
based on the cover. But the first issue was just focused on, I guess, showing me that he didn't actually kill everybody there.
Right.
And that he
Which,
just...
like, Episode 8 does do that, too.
Yeah. So, he didn't actually kill everyone. Well, I mean, I assumed he still killed everybody in Episode 8. I still assumed that he was the one who... Didn't Luke say that he led a bunch of his old Padawans and slaughtered the rest of them?
No, I thought he had a vision that Kylo was going to betray everyone, and so he went into the tent to kill him.
He did.
Yeah,
but
he ignited the lights for them. Was like, oh, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah, but we still
Ben
saw
woke
the
up and
whole...
he's like, holy crap, Uncle Luke.
Yeah, but we saw all the temple burning and all that. So I just assumed that Kylo had went in and killed all the former people.
I don't know.
How old were those 3 Jedi in the issue?
Teenagers.
Teenagers?
One of them was an alien, so
They're probably all
who knows?
going to die in this
He could have been
comic.
like 700 for all I know.
How many issues is this?
No idea.
I'm going to go ahead and guess that those 3 teen Jedis are probably all going to die.
I hope so. But it was good. I want more backstory for Snoke, and I want more backstory from the Knights of Ren, so I like it in terms of that. I also started reading Luthor.
Oh, yeah?
It's okay. I haven't finished it yet. I got maybe a little bit halfway
like that
through,
book a
and
lot.
I got tired, so I wanted to go to sleep. But it's good so far.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, is it gonna show him being more evil? Because in the first half, he's just kind of good.
I think so. I think it does.
Okay. I was like, is this a good Luther story? Like, because I was thinking, if they're gonna make a Luther movie after they make that Joker movie, I'm like, I kind of want something to go off.
Oh
of,
yeah,
so.
yeah.
That'd be cool.
I will say that book is what I think BVS should have been.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. Yeah, because Wayne did show up after I finished reading, so that's good. So, yeah, I read those two. Those were both very interesting. Wyatt?
Sounds good.
I read absolutely nothing.
Did you watch anything?
Just the first episode of The Witcher and Mandalorian. That's all I've really watched.
Okay.
Because my DC
Are we
universe
gonna talk
was
about
your DC
Mandalorian?
universe.
I will say, we can, but I will say that I have watched Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Oh yeah.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like it.
Welcome to the club.
Crisis on Infinite Earths, the
Hey, he's talking about
CW
the show, not
the
the
CW
book.
show. The CW show. It's cool. It's cool. I like that the first part of each episode is like different shows basically. So it's like, we'll throw back to the old Birds of Prey TV show.
Okay.
And it'll show that Earth getting destroyed, right? But it'll show that character. It'll show Batman 89. It'll show Robin from Batman 66. And it'll show their worlds getting destroyed or whatever. And it does that. They're all of them.
So it is actually the Anti-Monitor, like, going and destroying different realities and
Yeah,
stuff.
but it ends up being Endgame.
Oh.
Where Anti-Monitor wins, and then they're stuck in, like, the Speed Force
Oh.
at the end. Or some type of place, some separate place that's not a world. So that they can figure out a way to beat him.
Well, that changes things drastically.
It's just the Endgame. It's like Endgame. It's legit Endgame. So I'm like, okay, well, that's weird. Anti-Monitor looks fucking stupid.
He looks dumb.
He looks terrible.
Yeah.
Should have given him a mask.
I really like the Superman from
Brandon Routh? Yeah.
The Kingdom Come Superman.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Uh-huh.
Awesome. And he's definitely the one from Superman Returns. Awesome. He's actually a badass, and he's actually
That's
really cool. So I like him. And I was so excited because at the very end, they have Smallville, Clark Kent, or whatever, and blah, blah, blah. They're all great cameos. I enjoy
Is
them.
the Lois and Clark guy there? You know what I'm
I
talking
think
about?
he might have been for a little bit.
Okay.
They showed him at one point. I think he died. The Flash.
Makes sense.
The Flash from
Is the
John
show?
Wesley Shipp.
Yeah.
He's in it. And he's the Flash that dies from running.
Okay, that's cool.
So that's cool. I liked that.
Yeah.
And it does a flashback of the show and the woman he loved in the show. I can't remember what her name was. He loved her and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm doing this for you, blah, blah, blah. So it was cool. I liked that. I really liked that. Because it was like, they said a Flash would have to die, and he said it didn't have to be you. And he, like, throws Barry out of the way and does it. So I like that. I really like
Does it,
that.
like, deteriorate his whole face and he turns into a skeleton?
No, he just kind of does,
rips?
like, the Obi-Wan thing where he just kind of falls.
Oh, man.
And then, so there's a thing. It's like the Monitor. Not the Anti-Monitor, the Monitor.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, these people are the ones who are going to save the world.
Right.
So he takes
Does
them
he
all
assemble
up.
the weirdest team possible?
No, he takes them all up, and it's like written in this book, right? You'll need that for later. So it's written in this book that these people are. Now, there's Kingdom Come Superman. So, Brandon Routh Superman. Supergirl.
Psycho Pirate?
No, not Psycho Pirate.
He's a villain.
Yeah, but he still brought him in the comic.
He
White
betrays
Canary
them,
and somebody else. There's a human guy. I don't remember what his name is.
Kite Man?
But no, it's just a big group of people. Big group of people. That's all that matters. But there's the end of the episode, and I'm like, yes, thank God. Kingdom Come Superman's going to be in this, and I'm going to be so excited. By the way, I realize I don't like the supporting cast for most of the CW shows, and the acting is terrible.
That's fair.
But
It's teeny bopper.
Supergirl is the worst, by the way. Jesus Christ.
Really?
That was tough to watch. Yeah, it was terrible. So then we get to where they're the five people. The 5 people, they're in the little separate Speed Force area, right? Mm-hmm. So then Lex Luthor took the book, apparently, and scribbled out the Superman I like's name and wrote Lex Luthor. so that he would be a part of the prophecy. So they're all in this place, and then Superman just starts burning. And he completely disappears, and then he's like, Superman, he's giving encouragement, whatever. And then Lex Luthor shows up, and he's like, huh, figured that would be okay.
That's so Luthor, though.
I mean, it's so Luthor, but, like, it was the only character I cared about. Like, it's a whole thing. And then they do some stuff with Oliver Queen that's kind of cool. Also not kind of cool. They killed him off in a Supergirl episode. I thought that was stupid. Just saying. But they turn him into the Spectre. He gets turned into the Spectre, cool. So I assume he's still alive.
Is he giant yet?
He just became the Spectre. I don't know. Lucifer's in it for an episode. That's cool. So
that's a fun show.
I did watch something.
I enjoyed watching it. I was entertained by it, but I wouldn't say it's
blowing me away.
I did watch something.
What?
It's free on YouTube. They put the first episode of Harley Quinn.
The animated show.
Yeah, and it was funny, and I like the humor. The characters were their comic book characters, just more comedic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the first episode is just Ivy convincing Harley that, hey, Joker is kind of an abusive boyfriend. And, yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
That's good.
Is Batman in it at all?
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah, they get to a part where Ivy actually paid Riddler to do this setup scheme thing to get Batman and Harley captured, and they're going to get dunked in acid, and Joker has to choose which one to save, and he chooses Batman. But the acid wasn't really acid, it was just margarita mix.
Oh,
yeah. Nice.
Ivy spent like $500 on margarita mix.
Nice. I think that'll be a fun show.
It is. It was
I don't know
fun.
if I'll venture into watching it. So let's get into the final topic. As I said, this episode is the Star Wars episode.
Star Wars
of the
nothing
Chimmy.
but Star Wars.
Yes, ChimiComicsCast. So, to start us out.
I should have worn my cloak.
You should have. I thought you would, but you didn't. So.
I should have worn it.
It's too late now. How would y'all like to start this?
Well, I think we should
just talk about the movie.
Let's talk about the movie first, then move into our own trilogies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Overall thoughts?
So I liked it. They did not.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay.
Tanner's in the middle, as he is in the show.
Usually, yeah, it was okay. There's a lot of stuff I didn't like. A lot of stuff I did like. Not a lot. Not a lot I'd go back to, but I'm going to see it again. I'm going to see it again because it's just a movie you have to watch.
Everything that I thought was good about it, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, that blew me away. That's good. I would like to get back to it. It's just, well, I mean, that's fine.
Yeah. There's no scenes that I would fast forward to watch again.
Yeah. Like, The Last Jedi, I think Rise of Skywalker is better than The Last Jedi, but there's 3 scenes in The Last Jedi that I would go back to and watch, and that's Rey and Kylo versus the Praetorian Guards.
Okay.
The hyperspace ramming scene was cool.
Yeah.
And then Luke facing the entire First Order on Crate and stopping
that scene. That's my favorite scene.
The blaster bolts. Those are 3 scenes that I was like, okay, the rest of the movie is crap, but these scenes are cool. We don't really get much of that in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, there's not much I would go back to in Rise of Skywalker. Riley, thoughts?
For me, it's...
Why did you love this movie?
Because I had fun the whole time.
It's a very fast-paced, very, 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 very fast-paced movie.
Yeah. You're not bored at all in the movie. There's plenty of action. There's some good, like, character arcs, like Rey struggling with the dark side stuff. That was cool. And, like, her actually shooting lightning out of her hand was really cool. Lightsaber fights were okay. They weren't, like, really great, but I do always like to see Kylo Ren's saber and how it, like, crackles and stuff, you know?
Yeah, I really enjoy Kylo's saber. I think it's really dope.
And he has a cool fighting style. Like, he fights, actually, if you look...
with anger.
No, not that. Like, he fights like actual knights did back in medieval time using the crossguard.
Well, yeah.
He just fucking slings it.
I like how him and Rey like to grab it like this and swing it.
Yeah.
Like a knife. I think that's cool. You don't really see that a lot in the
Rey
other
holds
movies.
hers up like right by the emitter. Like, she holds it high
Yeah.
when she's doing one-handed stuff. And I think that I find that a little bit
We
weird.
get to see the lightsaber throw for the first time.
Oh yeah, that was really cool.
I didn't
I like
realize that
that.
was the first time that'd ever been put in the
Yeah.
film.
When,
I just thought it was a normal thing.
At the
At the
very
very
beginning
beginning.
when she's doing the training course.
Oh,
when
yeah.
Kylo's fucking with her
Cuts
with the
down a
trainer
tree.
droid. He's just effing with her.
Mm-hmm.
But
I like the jetpack troopers. That was cool. They look pretty cool.
They fly now.
I like the little tiny guy that fixes C-3PO.
what's his name?
Bork or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it started with the B. He just keeps repeating, goes, Bengala! Or something.
I thought that was funny.
I like 3PO. 3PO, this whole movie, I loved him.
He was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made me want more 3PO and R2 in the original, all these movies. Though.
Yeah, R2 hasn't even really been in these
BB-8
movies.
wasn't even in
Yeah.
this one for the most part.
He got squashed by a tree.
That was it.
And Poe got really pissy about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then
My droid.
somehow the
He
spoilers up here, by the way.
Yeah,
well,
for
fucking
real.
shit! I just gotta put spoilers up here because we didn't even mention it this time. But the BB-8, he wasn't really in this movie.
No, not really.
He was really just in Force Awakens. Now that I think about it, which is fine.
Like, prominently,
He's a
yeah.
droid. He's a droid. It doesn't really matter.
Droids have rights.
Wyatt, what did you not like about this?
Okay. What I didn't like about this movie
Keep it
is
short and simple.
basically everything was an ex machina. Like, the heroes did nothing. Every situation they found themselves in, they were bailed out by something else. And sometimes that was themselves bailing out another person. But, I mean, it's kind of the same thing applies. They go up, the movie also pulls every punch. Like, you think Chewie is dead, but it's so fast-paced that you don't even get time to realize it and really dwell on it because, like, 5 minutes later, it's, like, revealed, oh, he's alive. So,
Yeah.
And the same thing happens with 3PO. He gets his memory wiped. And
Oh, he's
only,
alive.
only for
Yeah.
it to get
You're right.
returned to him by R2.
So do you wish they would have more or less committed to it?
I
Or
would
do you
have
wish
actually
it was
liked
just
it.
later in the film that they
this is
reveal
my
that they're
opinion.
okay?
I wish this was not a trilogy. I wish that they would have given JJ 2 movies.
So you're taking my stance.
Yeah. They should have given him 2 movies so it didn't have to be so fast-paced, and he could do more than just make the plot exist because the plot needs to exist, and actually make the heroes do something and not just get rescued every time by an ex machina,
Yeah.
which I don't like.
My problem with the film is around the characters. I didn't like
That too.
anyone.
Poe's
Poe's my favorite.
Yeah,
I like
love
Poe.
but I mean, this whole movie, he's just whiny. And
He has sexual energy with
argumentative,
everyone.
yeah.
But the thing is,
like when he
like,
catches Ray, I was like, dang.
well, if I see Oscar Isaac on the street, he's fucking me. I'm just saying. But with the characters in this movie, Finn. Let's start with Rose. Last movie,
barely in
she's
it.
a main character.
Yeah.
This movie, they Jar Jar Binks her. She's nowhere to be seen.
Which I didn't
didn't mind it.
Yeah.
Didn't mind it because it doesn't freaking matter.
I feel bad. For
Are
these
they a
actors.
couple? You'll never know. Does Finn like Rey?
Well, I mean,
He might mention it. You'll never know. Is he force sensitive? Maybe.
maybe.
Making good points. Kylo, from
was
my
an ex
understanding,
machina.
well, no,
That's
from
not
my
really
understanding with Kylo Ren, in the last movie, they kind of built up, ooh, he could change. Last Jedi, they built that up. Ooh, he has the potential to change.
Yeah.
This movie more or less just hit it home that yes, he's gonna change and you're gonna like it, which I understand. I understand that what got him to that point was Rey saves him after stabbing him.
And Leia did something when she died, which distracted him.
Well, and his
And
father
that's-
saying it's okay that you
Yeah,
killed me.
And that exists
can
to tell the audience that it's okay. I'm his father. You
Yeah.
forgive him. He's my son. Forgive my son. That's
Forgive
basically
my
all that
son for
exists.
killing a lot of
Yeah.
people, including
myself.
whole planets and shit. Which that just meant he had to die at the end of the movie, which he did.
Thank God he did.
Well, no, it was just too soon for me.
I don't get why he died. I don't understand that at all.
He gave all his power to revive Rey after being dead. Which, by the way, Rey might not be a Jedi. She didn't disappear. He disappeared immediately.
See, I don't get that either. Why some of them disappear
there's
when
a
they die
theory-
and some don't? Like,
Because
she's not a Jedi.
listen, Palpatine said, if you kill me, all the Sith will exist in you. And she kills him, so does that mean she has all the Sith and all the Jedi now?
Nah.
I don't know.
All the Sith went to Finn.
No. Darth Finn.
I don't it's like Kylo's turn seemed too sudden for me. And after the last movie, it kind of made me more feel like that there was no hope of redeeming him.
I think
That's the way I felt at the end of Last
if
Jedi.
they didn't give JJ 2 movies, I think it would have actually been better if he had played off what The Last Jedi set up instead of trying to pretend it didn't happen.
I mean, my way of fixing that would just be have the Emperor freaking kill Leia. Then
What?
Then Kylo's fucking pissed and he's gonna kill the Emperor.
I can see that.
Good or not.
Also, one thing...
Even though in this movie he was gonna kill the Emperor too.
Yeah. One thing I did like about this movie...
that was his plan the whole time.
Yeah.
They portrayed the First Order, which after The Last Jedi was just a joke that no one was scared of, as an actual villain faction. Like General Pride steps in and is an actual competent leader who doesn't get thrown around.
And they had to bring him in because they made Hux a crap character.
Hux a crap character, yeah.
Also, Hux. I'm the spy.
I'm the spy.
I am the spy.
I am the spy. Shoot me in the arm so they know. Shoots him in the leg.
I am the spy.
And then that guy just blasts him
Immediately
away.
kills him. He's like, all right, we
Next
found
scene.
our spy. Yeah.
Also,
I was like, I love you, General Pride.
I understand. I understand for fan service. Yes, Rey will take the name of Skywalker.
Yeah, I don't think she did anything to get it. She wasn't that close to Luke.
No, not at all.
I think it would have been better if she had said
She was a Palpatine.
and made it a name, like erased.
No, I don't like
His
that. I don't like that
legacy.
at all. That's
I-
basically saying I'm Ray Hitler.
Yeah.
You know, like that doesn't work. You've got to get rid of that name.
Do you though?
You do.
I don't think
You
so.
do. You
If
definitely
you're
do.
gonna
You can
do,
make it a good
if you're
name.
gonna
No,
do
you
what this
can't.
movie did, you can do whatever you want.
I mean,
No.
I mean, like Luke had the benefit of not being associated with his father in Space Hitler,
Yeah.
because everyone thought the Skywalker was
But
dead.
his original
Right.
name was Starkiller, so.
Just saying. That was weird. The whole "I'm your daughter but not daughter" thing and taking someone else's name is weird.
And
to
then
me.
Luke and
just
Leia
like an
standing
adopted
like husband and
childhood.
wife.
I guess so, but they didn't really know her.
Well, I mean, Leia got really close with her, and
Did she?
Yeah.
I mean, they spent a year together,
yeah.
and I mean,
I've
Also,
known you
you-
for a year, Wyatt.
yeah.
I could not tell you right now that if you had died, that I would call myself Tanner Smith.
Okay, that's a different dynamic, though.
Also, this movie is so fast that at the beginning, Rey struggles with her training and gives up the lightsaber, saying, "I will earn this someday." And then immediately after, they're like,
Take it
"Oh my
anyway.
gosh, we need to go. We need to do this. I need to go do this. Give me the lightsaber. Okay, bye."
No, she handed it to her. She wasn't going to take it.
Did anybody understand why it was Rey's lightsaber at the end on her staff?
No, I don't
No,
think
it was a normal single bladed.
Oh, I thought
It
was
looks
on her
kind of like
staff.
her staff, though.
I thought that was her
Yeah,
staff.
the hilt looks like her staff did.
And
Because I thought that's
But
kind of cool.
It was also like a dial that you move to the
well,
side.
that's why I thought it was her staff.
Yeah,
because
I
it
thought
looked
that
like
was
the top
cool,
of the
though.
staff.
And it had an orange blade. Which,
I hope it's the staff
Was it not
because that's kind
yellow?
of badass.
no, it wasn't yellow. Yellow is what Jedi Sentinels and the Eternal
That's what I
Empire
thought it
use.
was.
Did you see her like fighting with the one blade on the end of a giant ass?
I mean,
staff?
that would have
would be
been
cool.
that would have actually fit her style. Like I would.
like stabbing people from a distance.
That actually would work for her because she's really good with the staff.
She
Yeah.
have somebody on like a shish kebab on it. But overall, it was just okay. Not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Riley loved it. I thought it was okay.
I also want to say that I think the flying in this movie was superb. I think you moved the camera a bit.
I think I did too.
The flying was
I've been
really
dancing
good.
around.
I liked the light speed skipping. I thought that was a cool addition.
Well, you had to introduce that from The Last Jedi because
Because
remember
of
they can chase them through
hyperspace,
hyperspace.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you have to come up with ways to
Even though
get them
that,
off your ass.
that
Right,
no
yeah.
way works. He should have plowed into a star.
but he didn't. Because he's lucky.
Because he's
the Force is on his side.
What the hell was that slug thing? That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
They
in
kept
the,
hugging. They're like, oh.
yeah, that thing.
What
Like
was
Finn,
that thing?
I don't know.
Finn walks by, tells him to do something like it's no big deal, and I'm like, who the heck is this
Who
guy?
the heck is this guy? And they never bring him
Yeah.
back.
I don't know.
He's their slug friend.
Slug friend.
And I feel like at the end,
Did y'all like the Emperor? That's what I want to know.
Yes.
Most of all, did you
Okay.
like the
I
Emperor?
did. I thought he was really scary
Even the
looking.
beginning?
Yeah.
The little zombie ass looking
Yes. I
motherfucker?
thought it
the
was
only
awesome.
problem
He
I
didn't
have with the
have
Emperor,
eyes.
I know.
The only
He didn't have
problem-
fingers.
I know.
the only problem I had with the Emperor is he would not have been the one to like, all right, Rey, you're my granddaughter. Take all of my
I like
power.
it better than the ass forehead that he had in episode 3.
Yeah, okay.
That was
Right.
disgusting.
The Emperor had kids, so did he have sex when he still looked human, or did he have sex when he looked like Emperor?
He had to do the Emperor, I think, based on Rey's age.
Yeah.
Or it could be, it could be the whole I create life thing. He could have just like
By the midi-chlorians,
take
yeah.
this.
Take
Yeah.
my
I think you can realistically give him 50 years, though.
Does that mean that Palpatine is Anakin's father?
That was another question I was going to ask because Palpatine says you're bond.
So we're still getting incest because Rey and Ben.
well,
kiss.
no, the
It was
reason-
just a kiss, alright?
It was the fucking awkwardest kiss.
I know.
It was
so
terrible.
Rey and
Riley's fiance was so happy with the kiss. I was like, ugh, next to her, and then he
ugliest kiss.
died, and I went, thank God, and she was very
He
mad.
did a really weird smile too.
I didn't like the scene actually happening, but I liked that it happened because of how happy they were.
You can be
that's
happy
all.
without kissing.
No, that
It was just weird. But
I just like them finally being happy together. That's what I like.
the bond.
Didn't need to
So
kiss.
he said y'all have a bond. I'm like,
A
so
life bond.
yeah, what does that even
Masters
mean?
and Padawans had bonds. They could like communicate to each other
When
through
do
the
you
Force
become?
and feel.
When do you become the Sanderson sisters though? When you can
They
suck up
see
power?
they shouldn't have a bond. I don't know why they
Hey,
do.
whoa,
Like they didn't do anything to form a bond.
He's like, oh, power. I didn't like the Emperor. The Emperor is suicidal too now.
Yeah, he has
Kill
literal
man.
thousands. Okay,
I'm like,
and then,
But
I
to
almost
live
died
on in
once.
Rey.
I almost died once. Kill me.
yeah, that's not the Emperor.
To
That's not
live
his
in
character.
his granddaughter.
No.
Yes.
No. He wants to live for himself.
I'm convinced that he would actually still be driving, though. Like, he would actually be Rey when he died.
See, if they said that,
Oh,
I
Snoke
would
is
be a
just
lot better.
a guy.
A clone, yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a guy, and apparently his scars aren't from anything. They're just.
Malformed cloning.
It's-
Yep.
But another thing,
But what is he a clone of?
Palpatine.
Is he?
I mean,
It's never mentioned.
I would assume because I mean,
My
there's,
idea was
there's
that-
clones of him in the Sith planet.
Yeah, but my idea would be he's a clone of Palpatine, but like Force users can't be clones and they get deformed and shit, and that's why Palpatine's looking for a surrogate
Okay.
person to take over, which would be Rey. But that doesn't
That's
mean.
a fine theory, but we don't know.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that would be my head theory, and that would
Yeah.
make more
Okay.
the
I
most
also
sense.
don't like how the Emperor got beaten. Because at the end, he's shooting lightning into the fleet and disabling
Destroys
all the
everything.
rebel ships. Like not destroyed, disabling them. But then
He's
Rey,
AMP.
yeah, Rey goes after him, and the ships just turn back on. And she,
21 kill streak.
yeah,
Tactical nuke!
tactical nuclear pound. Okay, he turns the lightning on Rey, and she just can block it.
I'm gonna chop a gunner, boys!
all those guys in fucking cloak.
You just hear the spets.
Get up, Palpatine!
You just hear the Spetsnots.
Fuck 'em up.
You just hear the Spetsnots from Modern Warfare 2. Enemy SC-130 above!
Oh.
Okay.
No, but like he takes out an entire fleet.
Doesn't take them out, disables them. They come right back. But they come right back. And Rey comes after him, and he shifts the lightning down to her. And I don't know if you knew this, but redirecting Force lightning is something you have to learn to do. And there's no one who would have
She
ever
has
taught her.
every Jedi living. in her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
she
how.
knows.
That's how. I just.
She
don't, I
learned.
still don't like that. I still don't like
learned
that.
it.
She's got Samuel L. Jackson's voice
That's
in her
right.
head.
Yeah,
Can you
'cause
imagine
that
all that
Mace Windu
fucking
was
shit thoughts she's
Grandmaster.
had?
So yeah, she does that.
Kill that mother.
Right.
Then she
cut off
pulls,
my hand,
then she pulls out another lightsaber.
motherfucker.
I'm convinced General Grievous could have beaten Palpatine twice as fast with those 4 sabers.
But the Force was on her side.
My thing is
That's all
like,
you gotta say.
yeah, but Ray's
I just
got to
don't
be
like that.
so OP.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he just destroyed a bunch of fleets with his freaking ray
Dude, in
of
the-
lightning.
in the
and
legend,
he
there's
directed
lightning.
it back to her. All of that to her.
But the
caught
lightsabers
it.
were what was catching it, though.
I know, but
Which
still.
we've already established can deflect lightning.
Yeah, but you have to learn to do it. And your logic is she has all the Jedi in her.
Yeah,
so she just
but we've
knows.
never seen lightning on that scale
Yeah.
before.
Oh, I
That's what
agree,
I'm
yeah.
saying. I'm all for it.
And
Yes,
why
you
didn't
can block lightning. But
Palpatine
when
has-
you're blowing up ship, well, not blowing up
And
ships, when you're
Palpatine-
disabling whole ships and ricketing through the air and making thunderstorms,
Lightning's still lightning, though.
Palpatine has thousands of
just
other
saying.
Force abilities.
there's a scale of power here.
I don't think so. I think that's not how lightning works.
Palpatine has thousands of Force
So you're
abilities he
saying-
could have used.
So what you're saying, Riley, is if you stick fork in an outlet, that's the same amount of
That's not
shock that
lightning,
you're
though.
going to be getting. It's still electricity.
But
that you'd
it's
be
not
getting
lightning.
from lightning striking you right on the head.
That's not the same.
That's exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's not
Alright.
the same.
And literally, listen. Palpatine has thousands of other Force abilities he could have used. He could have just shut off the lightning and
Did he use those in the original trilogy?
no, but he still
No.
he has.
Alright, then.
He has everything.
We're moving on.
Okay,
We're moving
fuck
on.
off. No,
on.
Ray can deflect lightning because she has all the Jedi in her.
Did Ray
And you have no problems with that, but Palpatine can't use all the abilities of thousands of Sith.
From what?
Hypocrite.
Hey, we're having a good time here.
I'm
So,
having a good time.
so
the camera's moved again. This way.
So this freaking
We're kind of sideways. It's all right.
it'll be
We,
okay.
we were in the Dolby AMC cinema, and when he shot the lightning up in the air, the whole theater was shaking.
Yeah.
The bass was unbelievable.
I mean, I love Palpatine. Like, I think he's a great character. Did Ray get hurt one time in this movie?
She didn't get hurt one time in the entire trilogy.
Like, she did get hurt. The most that happened to her was she got levitated for a few
Yeah.
seconds.
By Snoke. And then by Palpatine.
Wasn't she choked by Ren one time, though? Pretty sure she was.
That's kinky.
No,
Pretty sure that happened.
no,
During the Skype call.
no.
I think so.
No, I think you're right. Yeah, I do
I
think,
think
it
that
happened.
happened.
But it's not like she lost a limb or anything.
No. Does everyone have to lose an arm?
In a Star
to be-
Wars movie,
to be the
yes.
hero?
Yes.
You gotta lose an
I mean,
arm,
I would have
kid.
been okay with it.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Just a whole nother thing. Finn had no reason to be in this movie.
He
They-
never has had a reason
They
to be
tried.
in
The
movie.
second one, he was kind of the
he's such a
focus of the
wasted
second one.
character. He's a waste.
The first one, he was in most of it.
They tried by
Yeah.
throwing in Lando's daughter, who is now a stormtrooper. For whatever
Lando's
reason.
daughter, that ain't his daughter. He just wanted to bang her.
I mean, that's a
Let's
possibility.
go find
too.
out who you are.
Right? I totally thought.
It was weird.
There's two options here. It's one, she's her daughter. Two, Lando's gonna pork her.
Well, I mean,
Those
he
are your
porked-
options.
He porked the Millennium Falcon, so I mean,
Right? The man. Not only this. Not
No,
only
let's
this.
just stop.
remember when he
Wait,
said,
wait.
"Give Leia my love"?
That was weird.
Yeah, I was
No,
like,
I was
like
okay
that.
with that.
I didn't like that.
That's how he was in the originals. Anyways,
I think he porked
another
Leia.
thing that I loved. Another thing that I love about Lando is he's truly the most charming man in the galaxy because the last Jedi makes it clear that no one answers this distress call. Lando, we give him an afternoon, and he gets the entire world.
Yeah,
The entire galaxy is there.
JJ's just
We're
like,
there.
JJ's
Lando's
just, like, we
just
need
out
big
here
things.
porking
We
the
need
whole
big
galaxy.
things.
And he's like, all right, we
Lando
need this.
porked every ship in that fleet, and that's why it
probably did,
showed
I was
up.
halfway expecting an interaction between him and Maz.
Did anybody see the Mandalorian ship in
Good to
that?
see you again.
Was the Mandalorian ship in that pile?
The ghost was from Rebels.
I know that. I saw
I
it.
didn't really look at it that closely.
I was trying to find
I
the
was
ship
too.
from Fallen Order, and I was trying to find the Mandalorian ship. Couldn't find either. I was even looking for a Slave One in there. I was like, come on, Bubba. We need you.
Bubba's dead.
We need you, Bubba. Is he? Is he, though?
I mean,
Yeah,
you could definitely bring him back.
Yeah, he could.
You-
after this
so good.
Old man
trilogy?
fat.
Yeah.
Old man fat.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't understand how Emperor was still alive. They didn't really explain to me Why he was?
Because he has abilities that someone consider unnatural.
Yeah, that's what he said. They used
literally
that
his
line.
reason.
That's the reason.
That's what he said.
Yeah, but like,
The dark side
That's
of
all
the
you need.
Force.
I mean,
Pathway
is it?
to many abilities.
We're quoting episode 3, and you will like it.
yeah, like,
That, this
what
movie
is this like machine that is holding?
I
It's
him?
love
like,
that.
it's like
That was so
Gladys from
crazy.
Portal.
Yeah, but is it?
Yeah,
Did he have legs?
Yeah.
I think so.
I don't
but
think he
didn't
had
really
legs
look
until
like
after he got his power back, and also after he. After he got his life force back,
Growing.
because
He should have
By
been
the
like
way-
Darth Maul, spider legs.
no, by the way, it was fucking dope. His fucking cloak when it turned red and stuff.
Yeah, that was
That
cool.
was
That was
awesome.
cool. I even commented
But
on that in the movie. I was
also-
like, I like the red Palpy.
If you're getting life, and it's established that you were deformed, wouldn't you be normal guy?
Yeah, they should have.
Like,
He should have
normal
just been Ian
Palpatine.
McDermott.
Normal guy.
Like Ian McDermott.
He should have just been
fine.
The yellow eyes came back.
Those were dope.
Yeah, in Star Wars Rebels though, at the very end, he shows up to Ezra on this one part, and his hologram looks like Ian McDermott, like he's not scarred. at
Oh,
all.
because
it's really
it's
cool.
it's established in Star Wars, those rebels in the comics, that nobody saw the Emperor for how he truly looked like
He looks
when
just
he
like
was the Emperor. Like
Palpatine.
like the normal citizens, they still have holograms of him like before he was deformed and stuff.
Oh, okay.
it, even in Rebels. He looked
So
younger.
when people
his,
actually
his
see him in
hair
real life,
wasn't
they're
white.
just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. That's funny.
So that's cool. I like propaganda. Go for it, Emperor. Yeah. So that was Rise of Skywalker. It was a movie. It was okay.
I think by this discussion, you guys are having way more fun than I thought you would.
Yeah, but we're talking about what we don't
No,
like.
but like you were talking about this movie, like it was just like, yeah.
Well,
like,
I told you
don't
it was
even-
okay.
Yeah,
I didn't hate it.
But like, I don't know, this just felt a lot more fun than the text we were sending.
Things did get heated in the Jimmy
like
Comics group chat.
we were all just kind of like,
I didn't say anything.
I know you did.
I was just watching, listening.
Me and Riley were going at it.
I was the watcher.
I am the one who.
Tanner just disliked everything Riley said in the group chat.
Well, Riley was just talking dumb shit.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I had points.
I loved I love the arc of the character.
Yeah.
I did.
Really, what was Finn's arc?
No, I'm not talking about him.
Oh,
Which characters?
One.
I didn't
one
say all
character.
the
One
characters.
character.
Yeah, Ray, the main character.
Because she's like, oh, I might be a Palpatine. Oh no.
The double lightsaber
was
scene where she's
stupid.
fighting herself.
Did you?
I like her design
Remember when
as a
she
suit.
hissed? Remember when she
Yeah, when she
hissed?
hissed, that
I
was
busted out laughing.
She what?
She hissed.
She goes,
Oh yeah, that was weird.
that's stupid.
I just fucking
Oh! I
died.
forgot about when Lando saves them in the desert. And,
Ex Machina.
And he's in, they're in that little transport thing,
Yeah.
and he goes, "Take us to some such and such place," and that thing goes, "Okay."
It was a Muppet.
I remember y'all
Yes.
going, "Oh."
We busted out laughing in the theater.
I think we're the only ones that busted out.
Me, Tanner, and Keaton.
Okay.
Okay.
That I want a Disney Plus spinoff with that guy.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Him getting fucked
Oh my
up
God,
at the
yes.
festival, the Space
Okay.
Woodstock.
Okay. Lando, I want a Lando series with that guy
Yeah.
and the new girl.
Yep. Orlando.
Heck, throw in the little tiny guy.
Yeah.
too. Throw him in.
God hell.
Okay.
What a movie though.
Yeah.
What a freaking movie.
What a freaking movie.
I was disappointed with this trilogy
Yeah.
overall.
I think we all were.
That's fair.
Would you say overall disappointed with the series?
Overall,
the
no.
trilogy?
I think this, like, for me, this redeemed last episode and made me actually enjoy it.
No, I'm not saying this movie. I'm saying the trilogy as
The
a whole.
trilogy.
That's what I'm saying. I think
Yeah.
this movie did a good job of redeeming the whole thing for
well,
me.
you're wrong.
Okay, my opinion is wrong.
I respect you.
Yeah, it like
I'm glad we
7
got him. I really am.
Well, yeah, for real.
I mean, I will say Star Wars is looking up because we got Mandalorian. We're gonna get more of that. Season 7 of Clone Wars. Obi-Wan's getting a
Kevin
show.
Feige.
They've teased.
Feige.
There's some rumors
What's he
that a
doing?
Darth
A
Vader
Star Wars
show
movie?
is coming with
He's doing a
Hayden
Star Wars
Christensen.
movie?
Yeah.
What? Do we know?
No, we don't know yet.
That's awesome.
It's probably is it gonna be Anthology or Old Republic?
It's gonna be anthology. He won't do more than one.
Yeah.
I'm excited though.
So yeah, me and Tanner are disappointed with the trilogy. Riley only hated Last Jedi,
Which brings us to
and Riley also really loves J.J. Abrams.
Right.
And 2/3 of this trilogy is J.J. Abrams.
Right. But
So
which
that kinda
brings
went
us
into
to, what would we do with the trilogy
Yeah.
if we made the trilogy? So I will start with Riley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Riley's.
By the way, I'm not going to make much changes because I didn't have time to plan that much, but...
Me neither.
Good thing I did.
I don't know. I don't really have like a huge plan. I'm just saying like what should have been done basically for episode 8.
Okay.
I love 7 and I love all the lead up that it left off at the end. Like we still don't know who Rey is, but they pretty much alluded to the fact that she was supposed to be Luke's daughter, right?
Yes.
We agree there. I think she should have been Luke's daughter.
Okay.
She is in my trilogy.
Fight with Kylo. I would have had Snoke like actually have like some character development, like so you know
She's
who
not
he is. Because I think Snoke could have been cool, but I probably wouldn't have brought in the Emperor. But I feel like that was a good.
That calls back to Legends, kind of. It's like the Dark Empire comic, but not as good at all.
Yeah, I thought Abrams did a good job of like, hey, we're gonna throw in the Emperor and save this thing.
He said,
know.
"Fuck it."
Pretty much, like let's just throw it all out there.
It was kind of fan fiction.
But yeah, I probably would have ultimately, at the very end of the last movie, had what they did, where Kylo turns good and helps Rey defeat Snoke. That's what I probably would have ended with, just like the episode 6.
Okay, I can see it.
I wouldn't have had like silly characters like Rose that have no impact. I wouldn't focus on Rose, is what I'm saying, like they did in 8. I felt like she was one of the main characters in that movie, and I thought it was silly.
She was.
Yeah. But yeah, that's like the main points of my trilogy.
I dig it. For mine, then we'll get to Wyatt's, because I know Wyatt's going to go way more in depth than we will.
Yeah, for real.
In mine,
huge
I
note
thought
thing.
about it a little bit. Now, I don't know how each movie would go. Don't even know the titles. But I do think that Kylo would become Luke's son. Kylo is going to be Luke Skywalker's son. It gives Kylo more of a reason to hate Luke Skywalker because he's always measured to him and what Luke was and represents to everyone. It gives him more of a reason to hate him. It gives Luke more of a reason to exile himself because he fucking tried to kill his own son. He became Vader, basically. Mm-hmm. So it gives them
That's
two
a very
characters.
Sith thing to do to kill a rival.
You're right. It gives more family drama. I would make Poe Dameron the son of Han Solo and Leia, and I wouldn't give him any Force powers.
That's cool. I agree with that.
I would make that happen. As far as Finn and Rey go, I think I would bring Rey into it. I don't even know if I would, actually. We need another Jedi, though.
Finn, I think, could be a good Jedi. A stormtrooper turned Jedi. I think that's cool.
I do think that's cool. But it would basically be the same plot. So you could keep Rey as the Jedi. It would basically be the same thing with Han Solo, and instead of Finn, it's Poe as that title role, and then it's Poe and Rey and their adventures with Han Solo.
So who would Rey be?
Rey I think she would still be a Palpatine and all that stuff. I would keep that the same.
All right.
Except for in the second movie, instead of Snoke, it'd be Snoke, and then we'd have Ben Skywalker, or we can call him Jason Skywalker if we want to do extended universe shit like you said.
I would.
So have Jason
My
Skywalker,
episode
and then
7 name is Legends Never Die.
yeah, and we have Luke and Rey, I assume, who's the Jedi here, and Luke's kind of training her or whatnot. And they're confronting Snoke and Jason. They're trying to turn each other. Blah blah blah. Basically, what's going to happen is Snoke and Luke kill each other. They go down in blaze of glory, whatever you want to do. It's basically like that scene from Lord of the Rings where he's freaking on the Balrog thing and they're just flying down a hole. I'm okay with that.
How about Battle on Mustafar?
Yeah, Battle on Mustafar. I don't care. I want Luke to battle somebody and it'd be cool.
You're going to like my trilogy.
So that's what's going to happen. He's going to die. The next movie is going to... I want hints of Palpatine, though. I want the untrustworthiness of Luke with Rey. And we'll have Poe Dameron be like, why do you not like her? Or you just like you didn't like Jason or whatever. You hate her the same way, even though she has all these powers, blah, blah, blah. And then finally it's revealed the reason that he was so skeptical of her is because she was a Palpatine, blah, blah, blah. But I do want, like, a hint of Palpatine at the end of the second one. No, like, just, the dead arise or anything. I want something to give hint to it. I don't care if it's Snoke bowing before somebody and you're like, oh, shit, there's more people that are evil in this universe. He wasn't the main big bad the whole time. There's another... that I would want a hint of that. I don't care if it's him talking to a hologram. I don't care what it is. But I want skepticism. But that's what I would do. It would be called, like, I think it would be like the Thrawn books. Not the Thrawn, the Timothy Zahn books. It would be like Heir to the Empire would be the last one, I think. And I think Dark Side Rising would be one. And then I think I'd keep the first one as Force Awakens. So that would be my trilogy.
That sounds pretty cool.
All right. Now, mine's going to take a while.
I also want Old Man Boba Fett.
Old Man Boba Fett, okay.
Grab the popcorn, boys.
Right? It'd be awesome.
So I kind of wrote a title crawl for the first.
Oh my god!
Episode.
I don't want the title crawl.
Well, you kind of have to do it for if you're setting up a trilogy that takes up 30. But do you not want me to do it?
Yes, I do, but like quickly.
Okay. So episode 7.
Put it in the video, like scrolling down.
You could. Pause now. Edit
If you
it
can
in.
if you can make me one, I'll put it behind us.
I'll text it to you.
Okay. I may make it.
So then
I don't
would
know
have
how.
to make it.
Yeah, I don't know how. So
Fuck. Curse my editing.
So pretty much, I won't read it. I'll just
No, go
describe
ahead.
it.
Go ahead.
The new episode 7, Legends Never Die. The New Republic.
Legends Never Die is the title.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, my titles aren't very good. I mean, it was just
That's
like,
a Bond film title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just basically saying that we're doing stuff from Legends.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
So the New Republic is thriving, and Grandmaster Luke Skywalker has established the new Jedi Order, but a threat still looms. Parts of the galaxy are still under Imperial control, and although peace exists, it is uneasy. The last Grand Inquisitor, who, if you've watched Rebels and some of the more expanded universe stuff, the Inquisitors are dark side acolytes that hunted Jedi. Right. This is the Grand Inquisitor. She has spent years collecting Sith artifacts and training in the dark side to become an actual Sith. And with her new power, she crowns herself Empress and unites the remnants of the Empire into a single force. Like, she goes and bashes Moff.
Is she a Twi'lek?
No, she's not one of those Old Republic.
Oh, I was hoping it was Talon.
No, it's not Darth Talon.
Oh, damn.
But then an Imperial superweapon is about to be deployed, but Chancellor Verset, who's the Chancellor of the Republic at this time, he's readied his Republic. And the movie begins with the Empress talking to a modulated voice, telling her to carry out their plans. So that's kind of just a little, like, whoa. That's a question we want to ask, who's that voice? And the Galaxy Gun from Legends is in, except it's different in that there's a stupid namium element to it. So they can only get one shot, and they aim it at Coruscant. They're going to blow up Coruscant and in the New Republic and just come in and immediately take over. Kind of like Episode 7. But the Chancellor of the Republic at this time, he wanted to build a counter to Imperial superweapons, because I'm left it open for more books and stuff to take place, so they could have deployed more superweapons in between. So he has nukes secretly in the Republic. So when the Galaxy Gun fires,
introducing nukes to the Star Wars world, that's different.
It's been in before. They just don't use it very often, because I mean, it was
like those things that they dropped in Episode 2, where it, like, destroyed meteors and stuff.
Those were seismic charges.
Yeah, those. I like those.
Kind of. But
can we do like a big one of those?
I want the shield.
That's what it'll sound like.
Star Wars shield.
Yeah, the pew, 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 like when the blasters bullets it. Yeah, it's cool.
That's cool.
But so the Galaxy Gun sends something through hyperspace, basically a big bomb that can destroy a planet, and it's super armored and has lasers on it. So once it exits hyperspace, it's going for the planet, and it'll shoot down anything trying to intercept it. But Chancellor Verset, they get all these readings of, holy crap, this is a big bomb, and he does it, fires a nuke, and we see Leia in the Senate looking up into the sky, and she sees the nuke go off, and we're going to have political intrigue in that the New Republic senators are like, why did you build nukes? We're peaceful. We don't want super weapons of mass destruction. So we're going to be struggling with that with Leia. That's what I have Leia doing in this movie.
Oh, fuck, this sounds like Lucas's next movies.
Shut up. I am
It's fucking politics.
That's only a small part.
Yeah.
The Jedi.
Keep going.
Yeah. Okay. So the Jedi sense a darkness on the horizon.
So in yours, there's multiple Jedi.
Yeah. There's a new Jedi Order,
Okay.
and he has his Padawan Rey Skywalker, his daughter with Mara Jade, because I'm bringing Mara Jade in, and
Are you bringing in an?
she's his wife from the Legends.
Are you
canon.
bringing
Yeah,
in
I'm okay with
a secret organization?
That's what I was
of
trying to
Jedi
figure out in my
that have
movie
been
what I
hiding?
would do
No.
with Mara Jade.
Because that would be cool.
I mean, there is the Knights Eternal, but we'll get into that.
Oh boy.
So they go to investigate what they sense. They sense something out in wild space, which is a region of the galaxy that no one really knows what's there. So they're going to investigate, and they encounter the Empress herself, who she's not really the Empress, as you could tell. She was following someone else's order. She's investigating these senses too, and they encounter enemies with strange blasters. You got Force sensitives with yellow sabers. And at the end, they face a fleet of the new and dangerous enemy, the Eternal Empire, which is from the Old Republic BioWare games, which had the best trailer, like, for those awesome trailers they made. So that's the big bad. It's not just the Galactic Empire, Sith versus Jedi. It's something new. I'm trying to do something
I just feel
new.
like you have to have consumed every single Star Wars thing that's been out there to know what's going on in this movie. Like, you're pulling from literally everything.
I mean, they pulled for stuff too.
Like, I mean, a normal fan would...
Like Jason Skywalker, I didn't make that character
Yeah.
up. That's an actual.
Oh, I
character.
know. Yeah.
You don't have to. The fans will notice this stuff. But I mean, if you've never watched it and you're just watching it, oh, that's just a big gun that shoots
Yeah.
planets. Okay,
Starkiller based.
there's a new threat. There's new bad guys. I mean,
Starkiller
you're not gonna know. It's not gonna be too bad.
Is the clone guy from Force Unleashed going to be in it too?
No, he isn't in it.
He would be in mine.
He'd be
Just
mine.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
So that's that movie. They go on an adventure in wild space and discover the Eternal Empire is coming in. So that's episode 7.
Okay.
Episode 8, Enemy Eternal. Kind of like Attack of the Clones is Enemy Eternal.
I like that. I like that title.
Yeah.
That's a lot better than the first one.
So who is your hero?
Rey's the main Jedi
Oh,
hero.
okay.
Yeah,
So you're
she's-
still using the character.
Yeah, she's done. I'm
Alright.
only really using Rey. I don't have Poe.
We're not original enough to come up with new people.
We open.
We openly steal our ideas and make them better.
Yeah. So in Enemy Eternal, we open with a throne room of the Eternal Empire, and his name is Valkorion from the Old Republic. That's his name, and he's not the same because he was the Emperor of the Sith Empire too, and then he kind of disappears and finds this Eternal fleet. And I'm not doing any of that. A book can
Okay.
explain it, but I mean, here he is. He has twin sons, and they're both really strong with the Force. and
Okay, this
he-
is the Old Republic
yeah,
game.
he's command. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, not many people know of it. So I mean, as a fan of the Old Republic, I would like to see it in the movies.
Okay.
So they are going to attack both the Imperial Remnant and the New Republic, and their names are Thexan and Arcan. And Thexan will lead their forces, and Arcan gets jealous of him because their father's a douchebag. He's a crappy father. Like,
Okay.
he wants them to hate him. Like, he has a plan in motion.
Okay.
So Luke and Rey, they return to the Senate, and they try to warn them.
So Rey's his Padawan or daughter?
And daughter.
Okay.
Both. And the Empress does the same for the Empire, and neither is really prepared for the
I forgot
Eternal.
all about the Empress.
Yeah.
We're focusing on these internal people.
She's having a relationship with Rey, kind of like friends. They're becoming friends.
The Empress?
Yeah. Like, she's young. She's a young Empress. Kind of like
Wait,
how,
Empress isn't bad?
No. I mean,
What?
the Eternal Empire is the bad guys. I'm kind of...
But I thought you said she was serving somebody, like a big bad.
And we're going to get into that at the end of this movie.
Okay.
Okay.
Just, it'll all make sense by the end.
Okay.
So neither is really prepared for the Eternal Fleet to come in, and we see them both destroying fleets of New Republic and the Empire, and on the ground, the twins are just monsters. They cut down Sith acolytes and new Jedi alike. Just, yeah. And I'm adding in Admiral Holder, the girl with the purple hair, but instead of being a human, she is...
No, I'm just laughing that you're using that character.
Yeah.
No, I was laughing at you didn't want to use Laura Dern. It's like, oh, fuck her,
No,
right?
but she can be in and be a different Star Wars race. But I mean, she's
I like the actress. She was in Jurassic Park.
yeah. The alien part comes from she was a former Imperial officer, but the Empire was really racist.
What kind of race would she be? Mon Calamari?
No, not
Female
a
Mon Calamari?
Not a-
Monty Mundy.
Yeah, the carrot-looking dude.
Maybe
With a
I don't
female
know.
version
She's
of
just,
her?
I just know she's gonna be alien. That's all I
It
know.
would look like Hulk Hogan.
No, they actually don't. They have
Yeah,
pictures
brother.
of them in the Cinematic Universe.
The Force was with us, brother.
So she's been in charge of the New Republic Navy, and the Senate sacks her because they got beat. And they bring Admiral Akbar out of retirement to lead. He becomes the new Supreme Commander, and she is very depressed about it because she lost, and the Senate sacks her. But he kind of becomes a father figure to her, and prepares her to really take over and be the leader of the New Republic in this war. Because his logic is, my war is over. I fought the Empire. I want to be retired. I'm just going to get you ready for this, and I'm going to go back to Mon Calamari and retire again. But he still has that loving father relationship with her.
Did you come up with this just yesterday?
That and the day before.
No wonder you didn't read anything.
So the eternal
writing.
the eternal emperor, he orders Threxen to an imperial world because they're going to retrieve the plans to the galaxy gun. And Admiral Akbar is nearby, and he moves his fleet to stop them, to keep them from getting these plans. And he helps the Empire. Their fleets join together and are fighting, but they're still outnumbered. And on the ground, we get an epic saber duel begins
Wyatt
between.
really loves like battles. And
I do.
shit.
Yes, he does.
Between the Eternal Twins, Luke, Rey, and the Empress. And in this, Rey is injured for being over-aggressive, probably loses a limb. And the Empress gets knocked out, and Luke thinks he mortally wounds Arcan, and the plans are lost to him, and he gets the Empress and Rey out of there. But the twins get the plan, and you remember in the trailer when Arcan, the dude in white, gets that half mask and the robotic arm?
Yeah, he's gonna get that.
He's going to get that.
Okay, cool.
And he... there's the scene of his brother is holding his hand and he's screaming in pain because they're grafting this to him. It's going to be cool. It would be cool if it actually happened.
It's gonna be cool.
It's
You
going
will
to be.
see this.
You will see this. I will make it. But so after that, Admiral Akbar orders the Viscount, which is from Legends too. It's a 17-kilometer Mon Calamari ship that's like a huge battleship. I'm causing O'Reilly to yawn. I'm sorry. And,
Sorry, dude.
Yeah,
I enjoy Mon Calamars.
I think.
Do they yell it's a trap at one point?
Yeah,
Is it Akbar?
probably.
Is it Akbar?
Probably Akbar because
Hell yeah. That's another thing I'd change.
Yeah.
Akbar takes out everybody.
Yeah.
Akbar says he turns the ship
No,
around and he goes,
contacts. He contacts.
trap! Move!
He does it while he
And then he
contacts
just blows
Hux.
everybody up.
He's asking Hux, "Do you know what this is?
Yeah.
Do you know what this is?
It's a trap.
It's a trap." Okay,
And then he kills
anyway,
everybody.
He
That'd be
orders
amazing.
the fleets, the Empire and New Republic fleets are kind of pinned down, and he is going to use their powerful ship, the Viscount, to cover their escape. He orders all non-essential personnel to evacuate the Viscount, and he promotes Holder as Supreme Commander now, so that's her character arc, and uses the Viscount to cover the remnant Republic's retreat, and he destroys a super dreadnought and 100 other ships in a display of naval brilliance, and you see the Admiral of... Why?
Naval brilliance. I don't know.
Make one of the characters say that.
Probably will. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
Sir, that was a display of naval brilliance.
The Admiral of the Eternal Fleet, while he's watching the Viscount burn, he salutes Akbar because he's like,
Hell
you are a worthy opponent.
Hell yeah, Akbar.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So this is where some questions are answered. The retreating fleets exit hyperspace next to a large Imperial fleet that's headed by the Eclipse, which is a superstar destroyer from Legends that was the Emperor's ship.
Okay.
And they come aboard. We see the Republic leaders and the Empress go aboard, and the Empress kneels, and we see Palpatine still alive, and he wants to parlay. He wants to join against. He wants to join against.
Parlay.
I was just seeing Palpatine sitting in his chair. Empress, I request parlay.
Yeah. So he parlays with Luke, and Luke is pretty, like, he ignites his saber.
I have discovered naval brilliance.
Continue, please.
Yeah. So, okay, while that happens, that's not the end. We see...
This camera has moved so much.
I'm so sorry.
You'll be lucky if you're seeing all three of our faces by the end.
God, look at that.
Okay.
It's like an earthquake happened.
Okay, so at the end of this movie...
Wait, it's the other way. I'm going down with this ship. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. Okay, the twins, they return before their father, and like in the trailer in Old Republic, they have a flag of the Empire and a flag of the Republic, and they open it up, and there's captured lightsabers in them, and then they present the plans to the Galaxy Gun, and the father doesn't even really react. And
So Galaxy Gun's basically your new Death Star.
pretty much, yeah.
Hell yeah.
And the one who got wounded, Arcan, you see his eye turn yellow, and he lunges for his father to take him out because his father's been a shithead to him, never
As you
responds. And his brother grabs him with the Force and pulls him back, and they do a brief saber duel, and he kills his brother, and he immediately, like, you see his eye turn back to normal, and he catches him as his fall. And like when he got the robot arm, he was holding onto his brother's hand. When his brother is laying there dying, you see they're holding his hand, but his brother's hand is slipping out of his grasp, like in the trailer.
I was about to say, this is the trailer.
Yeah, it's basically that. Yeah, it's that. Because, I mean, that was brilliant. I gotta use it. And then you see Valkorion, and this is the first time he ever says anything in the movie. He says, like the trailer, "Come with me." And, like, offers him his hand. Because, I mean, his whole...
In my head, I don't know, I totally heard, like you said, and he says... Like in the trailer? Like, that's what he actually said? I was like, whoa, okay.
Just like in the trailer.
Just like in the trailer. Come with me.
Come with me.
Yeah. So his entire plan the whole time... I forgot to include at the beginning of this, or maybe in the beginning of the next movie, we see a flashback of Arcan and Thexan's childhood.
Okay.
We're going to see that. But anyway, his whole plan was to get one of them to kill the other and prove they're the strongest, so he has
Rule
the
2.
strongest heir. Pretty much, yeah. They're dark side users.
Probably wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Rule 2.
So for episode
yeah,
9,
okay.
I don't really have much other than the Eternal Empire is building the Galaxy Gun and is going to snipe the galaxy into submission.
I like that you can still say snipe when it's a fucking planet destroying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm gonna go over here and snipe all around real
So
quick.
we have Grand Admiral Thrawn is in it, and Admiral Holder are planning a combined assault on the Galaxy Gun's location. And this is just the ending. This is all I really got. Rey is going to defeat Arcan, and Valkorion offers her the place as his heir afterwards. He's just proving he's a shithead, only cares about strength. He's
I
like,
ain't doing
you
that.
killed Arcan, you killed my
Where
son.
does the Emperor
I want you as
come
my
into
heir.
this?
He comes in right now. She denies Luke and Palpatine arrive for an epic Force user throwdown between the Eternal Emperor, Palpatine, and Luke.
Okay, so this is a 3-way battle.
It becomes one. At the original time,
That's
Palpatine,
interesting. I like the
Palpatine
idea of that.
is going to fight
Because
with
we've never
Luke.
seen that. It's always one-on-one.
So at the
Or
beginning...
2-on-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the beginning, Palpatine is going to
On a
help
3-way
Luke.
dance.
At the beginning, Palpatine is going to help Luke, but he turns on him mid-fight, and now it's a 3-way fight.
Well, let's be honest here. Does anyone expect Palpatine to be friendly with Luke?
No, not really. I mean, you're kind of going to see this coming, but I mean, it's Palpatine. I mean, I'm not going to make him against his nature. But the relationship between Rey and the Empress comes in, and the Empress is going to betray Palpatine and give Rey an opening to kill him after Luke kind of gets thrown around and knocked out, and that's when Empress comes in before he can kill Luke.
Uh-huh.
So that's Rey gets a drop on him, kills him, and now there's not going to be an Empire and a Republic. They're going to kind of form together, and there's not going to be Sith or Jedi either. They're going to bring full balance to
gray
the
Jedi.
Force. Yeah, that's how I'm ending it.
Interesting.
So, and that movie's name is just a Saga's End.
Saga's End. Yeah, you gotta rethink that first one.
Yeah,
That's a Bond title.
sorry. I was trying to be like, yeah, we're going into Legends for this, but I mean,
Nah, I just took the Timothy Zahn ones because those sound cool.
Yeah.
Dark Force Rising, Heir to the Empire.
Episode 7, Legends. We'll just say that.
Legends.
So that's
the
my...
Old Republic.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah, that's my trilogy.
I'm down. I like it. I like the inclusion of multiple sides.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the 3 villains. I like the idea of a 3-person fight because I hadn't even thought about that before. I'd like that. I'd kill Chewbacca in mine. Fuck Chewbacca.
Yeah. And that we're gonna see more force.
Jason
We're gonna see more force powers other than just lightning and push.
Could be trying to
I'm
kill
going
Poe
into
Dameron.
the Force
He
Encyclopedia.
killed Poe Solo.
What would you
Solo.
throw in?
I'd have to research it because I mean, there's thousands of force abilities out there, like force healing.
What's your favorites?
The Force Bubble.
Yeah, there's a force bubble. It's like a force field.
It's a bubble.
Yeah.
I mean, just like one of your complaints about this movie was Palpatine didn't use many force powers. Like,
He only
what
used
would you
lightning.
want him to
Well, that's
use?
that's his main. That's his main thing.
But what would you want him to use?
A
I mean, there's-
lightsaber.
That, or I mean, there's thousands of. I don't know
Well,
the particular powers.
Why was that your go-to?
I just know
argument?
he
You don't
has
know any of them.
I didn't complain.
I just know he has thousands of them.
Okay.
He does. Like
All right.
that's the lore.
Well, I mean, he revived
Alright.
himself. I didn't like the introduce. Okay, going back to this fucking movie, Rise of Skywalker. I didn't like the freaking force heal at all.
Why?
It messes up the movies that come before it.
I mean, I guess.
No, they did.
They already
have,
ruined it with Baby Yoda, though.
They did have force healing before. Like that's how Anakin survived. And I mean, it's not like
He couldn't have healed Padme.
Well, he just didn't think to.
yeah. Well, or
His whole thing was.
Well,
"I have
also,
to save
this is
Padme."
force healing, not force revived from the dead.
We saw Kylo do it.
Yeah, and
But
that's
also,
a different thing.
Also, she didn't die of anything like physical. She literally died of a broken heart.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really fix that with the Force. I don't
Why
think.
did she die of a broken heart? Because Anakin betrayed her.
Well, of course.
Because he wanted to save her.
Of course, but he couldn't like physically fix that.
But she wasn't going to die of a broken heart if he just left it alone and then did it when she had the babies.
But I'm saying he couldn't have fixed that with the Force.
Riley, what I'm saying is if everything had stayed the same and she would have had the children and then there was complications, not a broken heart because she got a broken heart from Anakin fucking choking her on a Mustafar. So without that happening, it would have just been complication from pregnancy, which is what Anakin was worried about. But we have now learned that you can use the Force to heal things such as complications. Kylo took a fucking knife to the thread.
Not just a knife,
fucking blade
a
through the
blade
thing.
that can melt through steel.
By the way, fuck Ray for that.
Yeah.
The man's mom just died. And, like, the only reason she didn't lose that fight was because he was like, oh shit, my mom died, and drops his saber. One, if she loves this man, she should have known something was fucking up. Two, who just fucking stabs a guy who just laid down his weapon? Of course you're a Palpatine, Ray. You a bitch. God. And that brings us to the end of the ChimiComicsCast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed the fact that we moved slightly down this way.
Yeah.
This way.
Tell us in the
really
comments
sure.
if you liked our sequel trilogies. Tell me how mine's just shitty fan fiction if you want. I don't care.
We really don't care. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed us talking about Star Wars for once. So
Something
Hope
I can
you enjoyed
actually
that.
talk about with a good degree.
we're excited for the next coming year. Again, that'll include me and Wyatt are going to be bringing back the Chimi culture, where we're going to be talking about movies, TV, video games, all that shit, all that fun stuff. So look forward to that.
And Tanner and I will be covering X-Men.
That too.
Yeah, Riley's finally reading
One day
his
we'll
massive
finish
X-Men.
Superman in review. I know I watched Superman Returns about a month ago, and did we ever do anything with it? No.
Star Wars month, man.
Yeah.
But we will. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Thank you, Rod, for the shout out this month. We enjoyed it
appreciate it.
thoroughly.
Yeah, thanks, Rod.
And we look forward to the next one.